Hello, everybody. I'll keep this quick. So, if you've ever watched an Am I the A-hole video on YouTube, or if you've read stories from Reddit or wherever, it's pretty fun. You get to hear about people's problems, how terrible people can be, but a lot of the times I've seen people will cover them and then they'll read enough of the story to deduce that it's fake, and then they'll just stop reading it. Or they'll point that out all the time, and that's fair. So what I want to do is I want to do a similar thing and read the stories, except this time around I want to take people's, for take it face value, take it with a grain of salt, whatever. Just read the post and still pretend it's real, give it a benefit of the doubt, whatever. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read a bunch of stories and we're gonna go through it. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm also gonna unfortunately censor my speech because it's pretty cool to be monetized someday. So we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't make a difference, I'll just read the swears. But for now on, it's gonna be "Am I the a-hole?" So sorry. Let's go. All right. Got my coffee and I'm gonna. Oh, wow. My light is very bright. Okay. Let's start with this top one. Am I the a-hole for telling me? Oh my God. Sorry. The light is very bright in my eyes right now. I might need sunglasses. Holy cow. Staring right at the camera to say that was not a good idea. But this will work. Am I the a-hole for telling my family it's not my fault? It's my. Am I the a-hole for telling my family it's not my fault I'm not a twin? Okay. My parents struggled to have kids and went on fertility treatments to have my siblings, and the result was two sets of non-identical boy/girl twins who look identically pretty much. The older twins are Max and Amy, and the younger twins are Jace and Lacey. Our family has always been so obsessed with the fact that we're two sets of twins born to the same parents in our family, and that they could pass for identical even though they're the opposite sex. Birthdays, Christmas, school plays, sports games, report cards, graduations, and everything was a huge deal, and celebrated as this great thing. My siblings had so many parties thrown for them and so many reasons given to get them gifts that it was insane. I was born 6 years after Jason Lacey, and the family can't hide their disappointment in a singleton. My birthdays were never a big deal, and I didn't get the same attention for Christmas, report cards, sports games, and school party plays. For my siblings, the whole family would try to show up and support, and I was lucky to have one parent at any of my stuff. My report cards were never celebrated either. I'm not too close to my siblings. They don't notice me much and enjoy the attention a lot, so it's easy for me to slide through the cracks with them. But even our parents don't put the same amount of attention and effort into me. My graduation was a topic of conversation a weekend ago. My siblings can't make it because of work or college stuff, and the rest of my family was like, well, I guess we don't need to plan around my graduation. I told them I'd still like everyone there, and they said I didn't need it. Oh, I'm gonna use my mouse to follow. I'm kind of struggling. Sorry. And when they're oh my God. Sorry, let me reset this sentence. I asked why my siblings had. Wait. I told them still like everyone there, and they said I didn't need anyone there. I asked why my siblings had, and they said it was such a big deal for twins, and when they're one of two sets born to the same parents and could pass for identical. They said that's something to celebrate. I told my family it's not my fault I wasn't a twin, and I didn't get why I wasn't being overlooked. My grandpa said at 17 I don't need to be jealous of attention other kids get, and as a big boy I shouldn't get caught up in that kind of stuff. I said even teenage guys want to feel like they matter. My family said I was being unreasonable. One of my aunts said I was gaslighting the family, while my grandma, parents, and a couple of other aunts and uncles said I was emotionally trying to manipulate them. They wanted me to apologize to everyone for telling them it's not my fault and not a twin because no one ever said it was. Am I the asshole? I, am I the a-hole? Yeah, no, probably not. This is a case scenario where it really depends solely on what the person's like. I'd say at face value, obviously not. Um, it's very annoying. It's probably very frustrating that, with that many kids it's a lot for the parents, but also, I mean, come on. You're going to obviously treat your kids like very differently. Mm. That being said, this kid could be really fucking spoiled in their own right. God dang it, man. Whatever, I'm just censoring it. I don't care. Um anyways, yeah, I mean, he could be spoiled. He could be really just whatever. You know, he could be mean. So it really depends. But yeah, face value, not the a-hole. Let's see some of the comments here. Not the a-hole. I am so sorry your family sucks so much. It's not gaslighting people to say I matter too. I hope you have or find amazing friends to be found family because you deserve live attention and support. Not the asshole. All right, so I changed my mind. I'm just swearing. I don't care anymore. I'm not going through the whole video to censor every word, dude. Oh my god. I'm sorry. The only thing I can say is get so successful, then never speak to them again. Change your will to make sure your money never goes to them. Just be better. Yeah, I mean, you know, again, if you're a good guy, you just wanted to be cared for more. Yeah, it sucks. You know. All right. I'm gonna. How do I upvote things? I've never done that before. Do I need to be logged in? I don't want to do that. Upvote. Oh, I have to be logged in. I'm not doing that. All right. Am I the asshole for not letting my girlfriend have a slice of my birthday cake after what she did last year? Oh boy. Okay, there we go. Here we go. That last read, I'm so sorry about that. I'm gonna try not to stutter, and maybe I'll even cut that one. Who knows? I don't know. All right. Last year, on my birthday, my girlfriend, 26 female, ate the last piece of my cake while I was at work. Not just any cake, my favorite cake that my mom makes from scratch every year. I had specifically told her I was saving that last slice for when I got home. When I asked her about it, she just shrugged and went, "Oh, I didn't think you'd care. No apology, nothing." I was pretty annoyed, but didn't make a big deal out of it. Fast forward to this year, my mom made me the same cake again. My girlfriend asked for a slice, and I told her, "Nah, after what happened last year, this one's all mine." She laughed at first, but when she realized I was serious, she got pissed. Said I was being ridiculous and holding a grudge over cake. I told her I wasn't about the cake, it was about her completely disregarding me last time. Now she's barely speaking to me, and a couple of her friends are saying I'm being petty. I don't think I am, though. If she couldn't respect it last year, why should she get this year? Am I the asshole? Alright, look, buddy. Kinda. I mean, it's annoying, but like it's literally a cake. I mean, you could just ask your mother for the recipe and make it again. Again, yeah, I mean, out of principle, it's a little rude. Um, if your girlfriend, 26-year-old, I didn't. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you're kind of petty. I'll be honest. Um, and that's just purely out of an adult standpoint, man. I mean, if you're gonna be that upset to the point where you're gonna a year later you're gonna keep that grudge, it's kind of unfair, you know. Let's see what people think. Um, what kind of cake is it? That is true. Uh, mm, no, that's not. Why are you together? You don't like, or you don't seem to like one another at all. No, that's not true. It's not true. You can have petty quarrels with your girlfriend over dumb things, and that does not define your relationship, buddy. Let's see here. To be honest, it's not about who's right or who's wrong. It's more like if you and her managed to basically keep an argument about a slice of cake going for over a year. I don't know how the fuck you manage to even make the relationship work for an entire year. I wasn't necessarily meaning this, but this has been an ongoing argument. I more meant he let this set in the back of his head and become part two of an argument a year later. This has probably been an ongoing thought in his head for who knows how long leading up to his birthday. Yeah, yeah, same point I've been reiterating. I mean, it's just cake, you know. I don't know. I've had situations like that happen, and what I gotta say is, fool you once. If someone eats what you wanted in the fridge or drinks something, just try to make a better effort in making sure they know. Because if you tell them or put a note on it and they eat it, then yeah, obviously they're the asshole. That's not your fault. Mm. All right. Am I the asshole for supporting my nephew after he taught his golden child brother a lesson he will never forget? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I think I get that. Let's read it anyway. Oh, it's long. Oh, it's very long. All right. I'm not even going to read the note because it doesn't really make a difference. Context, I am 31 male, and my brother is 40, and he has 2 sons, Jack, 16, James, 13. Jack was born when my brother was still in college. He didn't want a child at the time. He and his girlfriend struggled for a while, managing their studies and raising a child. Thankfully, our parents were supportive and helped him. I also helped in any way I could. Eventually, he finished his studies, landed a job at 27, and got married to his girlfriend. Then their second child, James, was born. Both of them spoiled him a lot. Whenever our parents and I said anything, they claimed James was their planned child, and since they were in a good position, James deserved it. I'm going to take a pause really quick in the story. Another thing that people have done in the past on videos is they will interject a lot in the stories. I'm going to do my absolute best to not do that. I will make maybe a quip, but I will try not to hinder the stories at all. We'll see how that goes, but continuing the story. At the same time, they neglected Jack. They gave James expensive gifts, toys, clothes, snacks, and everything. The saddest part is that Jack never once complained. I watched that kid be happy just because his brother was happy opening his gifts. James, on the other hand, was spoiled rotten. He constantly compared his things to Jack's, and if Jack ever got something good from someone, he wanted it too. This problem kept growing. Negligence towards Jack worsened, and James started taking advantage of it. He began getting Jack grounded for things he did, and their parents always believed James no matter what. Over the years, I saw the sparkle in Jack's eyes fade. Now, the incident happened this Christmas. Okay. To be clear, I love both of my nephews. I don't approve of James's behavior, but I blame the parents, not the kid, so for Christmas, I bought both of them a Nintendo Switch. Jack had wanted one for years, and he almost cried when he got it. He hugged me and thanked me, but James hated it, saying, I want a PS5, not this, and threw it away. I didn't care because I did my part. Okay. Whatever he did with his gift was none of my concern. I was not going to enable this kid like his parents did. A few days after Christmas, Jack came knocking on my door. The kid was crying and shaking. I let him in, calmed him down, and asked what was happening. To keep it short, after I gave them both a Nintendo Switch, Jack was too happy with it. He played The Legend of Zelda whenever he had time and was having so much fun. He didn't sit well with James. To ruin Jack's fun, James broke his own console and cried to their mom, claiming that Jack broke it. Their mom believed him, snatched Jack's console and gave it to James, and grounded Jack. Jack just lost it this time. Years of unfair treatment finally got to him. He grabbed James by the neck and started choking him. He said he didn't know what came over him, but his mom's screaming and beating couldn't stop him. He just saw red. He started screaming at James, demanding him to tell the truth. James was struggling and begging Jack to release him, and finally James admitted the truth. Jack let go, James was left gasping for air, and Jack ran away straight to my apartment. After a while, I received a phone call from my brother asking me to send Jack home because he had a lot to answer for. Jack wanted to return home to face the consequences alone, but I went with him. When I arrived, I saw James visibly terrified of Jack. He had never faced consequences of his actions before, and it looked like Jack's anger had truly scared him. My brother started screaming at Jack, but I stopped him. I asked James in front of everyone why he did what he did. He didn't say anything at first, but when I pushed, he finally admitted Jack was having too much fun and it irritated him. That kid was so spoiled that someone else's happiness bothered him. His mom started to defend him, saying he's just a kid and blah blah. I stopped her and sent Jack outside to sit in my car. Then I let my brother have it. I told him everything. How he had failed as a father, how he had neglected Jack, how he had spoiled James to the point of making him a terrible human being. My brother just listened. He didn't say a word. His wife tried to say something again, but this time he shut her up. It looked like reality had finally hit him. He finally realized his younger son was becoming a terrible person. I told him that if they hated Jack so much, I could take him in. Then I left and took Jack back to my apartment. Now Jack is here with me. His mother has been blowing up my phone, saying I was cruel to James and that I shouldn't meddle in their family affairs. She accused me of favoritism towards Jack. I didn't reply to her. I haven't heard anything from my brother yet. Maybe he's still processing his mistakes. For now, Jack is with me, playing games, studying, and he's such a great kid. And if his parents don't want him back, I plan to support him until he graduates and gets on his feet. Am I the asshole for taking Jack's side? Okay, so this is a perfect example of what I was talking about in the intro. This is not real. There's no way this is real, right? This is so over the top. I'm not saying parents aren't like this, but this is very over the top, you know. This is a very made up story, and the fact that it's so overly detailed like it's a novel proves this is creative writing. But like I said, I want to treat every story like face value. So yeah, obviously you're not the asshole. Like what the fuck are you thinking? Yeah, no, you took in the he's being abused as hell, and you know. Yeah, I mean, it's a clear cut, you know, fantasy novel, but again, sorry. Yeah, it's a very fucked up situation where, you know, this kid is being very obviously neglected, and then the fact that he has this cool superhero blow up and he, you know, bosses on them, and the fact that they're not, if they were truly neglective, horrible parents, they would have been getting the police involved. I'm just saying. Even though you're related, you can't just kidnap your fucking nephew. That's not how it works. Okay, let's see. Is there any quick comments? I'm not like trying to glaze over. Jack deserves better. Thanks for sticking up to your poor kid. Yeah, it's just a lot of people are going to be saying nice things. But, all right, let's move on. God, that was long, dude. Update 3? Okay, I'm not reading updates. Hold on. Oh, I see. No. Okay, I've never read these before like this. So no, never mind. All right. Am I the asshole for impulsively locking my boyfriend out without any more? Wait, let me reread that. Am I the asshole for impulsively locking my boyfriend out without any more talk after he tries to move in? This should be interesting. This is long. Oh my god. I've made a mistake. All right. My female 39 boyfriend Mike, male 38, so you're about the same age, of 3.5 years, and I had been trying to work in an long distance relationship. This is my last semester dealing with the first phase of a startup that took blood, sweat, and tears to bootstrap. The next phases will not be as hard or difficult, and what's most important is that I have secured a few long-term contracts and the funds. I temporarily moved out of the state for this. When I met Mike, we became inseparable. Neither of us is original from where I met him. I developed my career in that state. Slight pause. So one thing I'm going to mention is I try my best to read as well as I can. And so if you are listening to this only, just please keep in mind, I'm not totally stupid. Sometimes it's just the way they type things, okay? Sometimes people type in a way that is not correct. So sometimes it is just me. I do fuck up quite a bit. But also another small point is there's a lot of shit that I'm not going to understand. Like, I don't really know what they're talking about. This seems like some sort of office job scenario. But anyways, let's continue. I'm very dedicated to my family and my career and resisted dating. But when he was charming and funny, but he was charming and funny, and I became very attached. I wasn't thinking about finding a partner, but our chemistry changed my mind. He hit a snag almost 2 years ago because Mike became anxious about my career, and it's partially my fault. I was so happy that I was making progress that I impulsively promised him a scooter bike when my finances allowed it. It was supposed to be a birthday present. He took me up on my word, which is fine, but one, I was supposed to be when I could, and two, he started out with enthusiasm but ended up pressuring me to the point where I felt that he was with me for freebie. He was with me for the freebie, and I ended up snapping. He apologized and stopped, and only mentioned as a joke every so often. I've been taking some long-distance clients when my schedule allows it. I charge an accommodation rate. He knows this. And I work my best to save money on that. Save some money on that. God damn it, I'm stupid. I'm sorry. This is how I've been able to stay afloat and sleep at night knowing that I have money in the bank aside for my regular revenue. This is important. I was awarded a grant that I would have preferred to keep private, but they announced it on their social media and had people congratulating me on my profile, and Mike saw it. I had to explain that grants are not piggy bank money, but a means to support my work. I left for my present location 8 months ago. It's the last big push for the project, and my team and I are both exhausted and excited. My parents noted that I'm tired all the time and offered to take my kids for this school semester. I'm grateful for this because what I'm doing is to build a future, and childcare isn't easy or cheap. I'm so sorry, dude. So I traveled and do video calls every day. Mike and I managed to keep the relationship as he drove to see me every few weeks. 3 weeks ago, Mike showed up by surprise. I was thrilled. We focused on making memories as he said he would stay for 3 days. Then he pushed his leaving date. Don't get me wrong, I care about him, but it didn't make sense. I asked if he lost his job, and he denied it. He was new at his job, so no vacations were accumulated. After 10 days, I was very worried, and he said that he was looking for a job in my area. I was confused, and he acted like it was normal because we love each other. What? I asked him to give us both time to think about this thoroughly. He said okay, but didn't move on. I had to come home to him lounging. Oh, wait. And I had to come home to him lounging around all day. He didn't contribute with groceries and got defensive when I asked what he had in mind about rent. I needed time to process. I can't just add a new tenant without telling the administrator, and he hadn't shared anything about any job prospects. After a long and uncomfortable conversation, I said that living on my earnings alone should not be his plan. He had a sour reaction and brought up how I pocket my money and savings every time that I visit out-of-town clients. He said that I was a hypocrite. He also brought up my promise for the scooter and said that I offered as a way to control and bring him closer. We didn't speak for about 2 days until I asked him to leave, and he didn't. He says that I gave up on us too easily and suggested that there may be something else going on, like maybe I'm cheating. At this point, my ability to keep a clear mind has been affected. I came here to work hard and do the best that I can to move back. I'm going to take a second to drink. So I asked him to leave again because I didn't even have a clear picture of how he planned to support himself financially. He just laid down with his arms covering his face like I was nagging at him. This is where I might be the asshole. We hadn't formally broken up, but after another fight, I ended up leaving my own place to cool off. I impulsively bought a new lock and had it installed when Mike went for breakfast. I put his bags in the lobby and refused to answer the door when he came back. He said that his key wasn't working, so I told him why and advised about his bags. He tried to talk to me, but I blocked him. I'm already looking for a new place, and I'll move if I find one because I don't want him showing up again. I feel a mix of anger and guilt because it ended badly after we had a lovely connection. His last message said that I weaponized my degree for leverage and that I humiliated him. Am I the asshole? No, obviously not. Wow, that's pretty crazy. No, he was definitely leeching off you. He's manipulative. That's very clear. And it's insane given that you both are almost 40. I'm not saying that a 40-year-old should be mature. I'm just saying that if you don't know his history, he's probably done this plenty of times before. I mean, he's definitely just moved. I mean, did he have a job? Also, yeah, petty as fuck for the scooter. I mean, come on. Like, that's just manipulation, man. Yeah, he was definitely just leeching off you. Not the asshole. You found yourself a hobosexual. I think you made that up. I'm so sorry. You did the right thing. If he establishes residency there by staying longer, you could have a serious issue. If any mail shows up, mark it return to sender, put it in outgoing mail somewhere he can't access, and do not, under any circumstance, give it to him. Mail can help establish residency, but it doesn't if you refuse it, and he doesn't have it as. Oh, I didn't know that actually. Yeah, no, he's definitely just becoming a squatter, you know. And that's true though. I mean, like if this is all real and shit, yeah, I mean the fact that he's just staying and refusing to leave, the fact that you have to leave your own apartment, not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Okay. Oh goddamn. All right. Father dying and I left her stranded. Let's see how long this is. That's not bad. Okay. A long story short, I may update it in case more background is needed. My wife, 33 female, left me 46 male, and our two young children early August last year. We were together for 13 years? Holy hell, dude. Married for 10. Oh, I see. We have lived in several countries, both in Asia and Europe. The last country we were in was Czech Republic because we had a group of friends. My wife decided to separate from us and travel to wait. Oh, because we had a group of friends, my wife decided to separate from us and travel to CR, Czech Republic, my bad. I helped her financially as much as I could, hoping she would return one day. I blame the separation much on me. I begged for almost 6 months for her to return. By mid-December, I found pictures uploaded to Cloud suggesting that she was in a relationship. When confronting her, she admitted she'd slept with him less than 4 months after she left us. She regretted it mostly, especially since she had promised her daughter not to get involved with guys, but solely focus on work. She broke up with him. She told me he was quite strict in her limiting her time to go out and even put restrictions on what she can and cannot wear, something she never experienced with me because I gave her all the freedom as I trusted her very much. I had a brief moment of trying to reconcile. I spent days on Reddit reading about infidelity and reconciliation. By any measure, she did not show remorse or was very much interested to come back. I concluded early January that this was the end of us. No one regretted getting back together, whereas some or most regretted reconciliation, even many years. I'm sorry. I am doing a bad job here. Okay. Here is the issue. Soon, she left us in August 2024. She got informed about her father's cancer and that he had between 6 months and 2 years to live. While I was trying to get her back, I offered her early November to return to her home country in Asia and settle any bad blood between them. She told me she hated him. He was abusive and cheated many times on her mother and did not want to go. By mid-December, while still trying to reconcile, she mentioned the worsening state of her father. This time I offered to travel all together, the four of us, and spend time with her family. Again, she refused. Now this Monday, 10th February, so this year, just a few days ago for me, she sent me a message that she immediately wanted to travel with all of us because her father was in the hospital and dying. By now, I no longer wanted her back and refused. She got quite nasty with us. 2 days ago, her father died, and she is feeling terrible because she was not there with him and won't be able to travel for the funeral due to money issues. Even with my financial help early on, she had been spending far more than she earned the last 6 months. I've asked some friends and even ChatGPT, which I have been feeding info from the very beginning. Yeah, but they are all saying I have no obligations whatsoever as she was the one that abandoned the family, cheated on us, and refused my previous offers to go. What is your opinion? She's to the streets, brother. Yeah, no, she obviously abandoned you. This situation is, for whatever reason, she wanted to leave and didn't know how, so she just did it, you know? And the funniest part is okay, so from what it's sounding like, he wanted her back, knowing that she cheated. She admitted it or some shit. And even said, yeah, my boyfriend was kind of strict. And he's like, but I wasn't strict. Like, no, that's not a win, buddy. You gotta cut the weakness off you. All right, kill her. No, I'm just kidding. No, don't do that. That definitely don't do that. But no, yeah, that's bad. That's insane. Okay, so one thing too I want to note. 13 years together. She was 20 and you were 23, right? Yeah. Yeah. No, you were 33. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you probably met someone who's never really had a lot of partners, and she kind of maybe just, I don't know the situation you guys are in, but apparently she got bored. And I'm not saying that's good. That's not a good thing. You shouldn't do that. Especially if you got two fucking kids. Like, come on. Don't do that. Don't just move away. Like, why would you abandon your kids most of all? That's the craziest part. And what I love the most, too, I know everyone's probably thinking it, is you hate your father because he cheated on your mother. What are you doing? What are you doing to your husband and your kids? Dumbass. Screw her. She brought this on herself. Not the asshole. You offered to help her see her father multiple times and she refused. Her actions have consequences and you should be punished for her. You shouldn't be punished for her choices. Isn't there a way to see? I just realized this. Isn't there a way to see all of the what's it called? I don't know if there's a way to see all of the not the assholes. I don't know. Yeah, no, you're not the asshole. It's very easy. Am I the asshole? My wife became emotionally abusive since giving birth. She topped it off by cheating. Now she is begging me to reconsider. Let's see. If this is a novel, I might. Okay, it's not. We're good. Liking Reddit so far? No. Okay. I, 28 male, have been married to my wife, 27 female, for 2 years together for 4. What? Been married for 2 years together for. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. So you've been together 4 years. 14 months ago, we had our first baby. She hasn't gone back to work, and I have been the sole breadwinner for her choice. And since she gave birth, my wife became a nightmare to deal with. She became irritable, angry at me for the smallest reasons, complains about everything. Everything is somehow my fault. All she does is hold the baby all day, even if he didn't need to be held, and scroll through her phone. Everything else is my responsibility. We hadn't had sex for over a year and a half, and whenever I try to address it, she lashes out at me because even though I'm the only one who works and I do all the housework yet, I'm insensitive and don't care about her. I haven't brought up sex until 3 months postpartum. I was basically her emotional punching bag. I tried to get her into therapy. I tried to address her behavior, but all I get is more verbal abuse. I hated our marriage. I wanted it to end, but I was scared of the idea of co-parenting. I was scared of the social backlash of ending a marriage with a child involved. And also a small part of me was hoping that somehow things will get back together, or get better. Well, last month, she made it a lot easier to end it. She told me she was going to a bar with her friends. She came back home at 4 a.m. drunk. As soon as she slept, I snooped through her phone and found texts between her and a random guy, implying that she went to a hotel room with him. I was almost relieved when I saw them. I can finally walk away from this miserable marriage without any guilt or regret. The first thing I did was take a DNA test for the baby. He is mine. As soon as the results came back, I informed my wife that I'm aware of her infidelity and our marriage is over. She broke down crying. She begged for my forgiveness. She tried to use every excuse in the book: postpartum depression, past trauma, alcohol. She promised to make it up to me. She said she would do whatever I want, said that she doesn't want our family to break, but I wasn't having any of it. I already hated this marriage, and the infidelity was just the nail in the coffin. We still live together, and she has been begging me to reconsider, promising me everything under the sun, but I have no intention to reconsider, and I told her that she is not allowed to speak to me anymore. Am I the asshole? No. Yeah, it's pretty easy. No, we can talk about it. Yeah, I mean that's fucked up. Being together for 4 years should have been enough time that or no, how do I word this? I was about to. People change, obviously, and I mean, especially after a child. But 4 years was enough time to show that if that drastic of a change happened, that was a big red flag, you know. People aren't always horrible from the start. Sometimes people do develop that, but typically they'll have some sort of, whatever. I think what happened was if your wife was a bad person and did shit like this beforehand, It was probably easier because it was just the two of you. She was working too, probably, but she was able to make this gigantic lunge into, you know, doing whatever the hell she wanted to. Um, let's see here. Let's read comments. Let's not let's not have me talk about this. Let's see here. Your wife is an a-hole for cheating and for claiming her medical condition made her cheat. Yeah, that's actually that's a good point. I'm gonna go out and say this. I don't think that postpartum depression should make you do any of that. Or same as blaming alcohol. What a funny blame everything but yourself, right? Like, let's see here. Look at this. Look at this. Postpartum depression, past trauma. Those are two things I cannot tell you if it makes you act one way or not. You know, I don't think I've gone through either, but it's still a very bad excuse for premeditating, going out to go do it. You know, it's like it's, and who knows how long, right? It's not like this was some spur of the moment. Oh, I just, I went out to the bar and I don't know what happened. I just kind of did it. Alcohol, that's the explanation, but not even. You still got to make that choice consciously. So yeah, she's the asshole. It's really easy. Am I the asshole for ghosting my boyfriend after I caught him riding in his car with another woman and they seemed cozy? How long is this? This is very long. I'm not reading that. Sorry. Yeah, no, probably not. Look, my whole shtick and my whole goal I want to go for is to believe every story as if it's real. But that does not mean I have to read every story. Okay, it is. Okay, now that I look at it, it is just sure. Okay, fine, we'll read it. My female 32 boyfriend. Oh, me 32 female boyfriend Dane, male 36, and I started dating in 2020. I was thrilled to have someone like him because he was very loving and protective when it came to my emotions. I have anxiety. Our relationship went smoothly until he got into a new circle of friends via his career ambitions. For background, he was always complained that he never gets good opportunities. I was supportive when he needed encouragement and eventually helped him with his networking efforts. He met a married couple and they bonded over shared frustrations and similar goals. The married couple introduced him to Adelaide, female 45. Ooh, a cougar. Sorry. Actually, cut that from the record. Who worked at a small company that has clients in different markets. Office management services. He said it was a good start and applied as a clerk. I had no particular opinion or dislikes towards Adelaide until I began noticing some things. She called regardless of weekends or holidays and started showing up during group outings. At first I thought she was just friendly, although a bit out of boundaries, but well-meaning. I started to get very uncomfortable when he became guarded about his phone, walked away from me to take her calls, and showed up late to pick me up because he was with her. He was adamant that I was hallucinating. Okay. Then when things got harder between us, hold on. Because I asked him not to include her in any social aside from his own work environment, he acted harshly and accused me of being an anchor and an obstacle to his career. He said that she practically held the key to his advancement and that I was sabotaging. It got so bad that he even asked for a break. It took 5 weeks for him to cool down, in which I was banned from calling him and experiencing symptoms of anxiety that I hid from my family. When he finally broke NC? What? No contact? What the hell does NC mean? Okay, for all intents and purposes, I don't know what NC means, so I apologize. When he finally broke, we'll say New York City, I was so hurt and afraid to lose him that I accepted his terms. Be open to having a friendship with Adelaide. Do not act uncomfortable if she was around. Do not mention her. No arguments. No jealousy. I'm not gonna lie. I felt humiliated that a newcomer had so much power, but I told myself that he was just trying to build his career. 2 events caused our breakup almost a year ago. First, he never told me that Adelaide had a close friend who was also his neighbor. I found out because the woman from the married couple mentioned multiple get-togethers that they obviously happened, and I was being excluded. This led me to feel worse, and one day I arrived at his place and he wasn't answering my phone. I went 2 floors down and found him joking and very smiley at his new friend's apartment. They weren't alone. There was a bunch of people in there. He said he was getting fed up and that I had crossed the line. Second, I found sand on his passenger seat and floor. After lots of denying, he said that he and Adelaide had been to the beach to survey for new possible clients. We broke up that same day. That's fair. He begged me for months until I agreed under very hard terms. First, he needed to find another job. Second, he needed to keep things distant and professional while they were in the same office, but he needed to socially cut her off. He did everything I asked and even called her in front of me. She seemed to understand. It took me a year to recover my trust in him. One day, he announced that Adelaide had found a better position and left that job, so it wasn't necessary for him to go elsewhere. I was so confident that I hardly let it play inside my head. Fast forward, and the married couple ended their friendship with him, or he ended it. They are no longer on speaking terms. I found a great career opportunity, and instead of being happy for him, wait. I found a great career opportunity. Instead of being happy for me, he complained that I work around too many male colleagues. Oh boy. He started withdrawing from me and picked arguments. I work out of town for most of the week. Long story short, I was driving from out of town earlier and saw Dane riding with a female that I'm not familiar with on the passenger seat. And she fed him something into his mouth. She's not his mom or his sister, and this was 2 towns down. I tried to follow them but wasn't able to keep up. She's definitely not Adelaide, and it was definitely his car. I don't know of any situation in which I will hand feed someone where there's no sexual involvement. I called him and he didn't pick up, so I texted him. I didn't mention coming back earlier, but I asked about his day and he was very casual. To be fair, I didn't ask if he had someone inside of his car or about his lunch break, and he didn't say anything either. This time I'm more disgusted than hurt. He tried to reach me at night as usual, but I didn't pick up. I blocked him and mailed all over his personal belongings to avoid him coming to my place. His sister supports me, but she's worried that one day my anxiety could blow up for lack of closure. He's been calling me from unknown numbers and sounded genuinely confused. I know what I saw, but have gone to all the profiles of all his female relatives, and that woman is not one of them. He's been begging me to just tell him what's going on. I feel like I have a hole in my chest, but maybe I'm in shock because I'm not feeling desperate or anguished. My cousin says I need to ask him directly. Am I the asshole? No. Okay, so, well, I mean, no, you're not the asshole, but like, I mean, yeah, you should probably break it off, you know? I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's a psycho and he's like willing to come and like fucking find you or something. So I mean, anxiety, I get that, you know. I don't want to confront people like that either. No, that's fucked up. Hallucinating though, that's an interesting red flag I read right away. What what do you mean hallucinating? You were making it up. No, yeah, no, I mean obviously he's cheating or doing something very nefarious. Yeah, I mean I'm just gonna say it, man. You shouldn't over paranoid yourself about, you know, certain things because sometimes it is just a different way. But if your spouse or girlfriend, boyfriend, partner is starting to be really dodgy like that, and there's evidence for it, like not even just like if they're hiding their phone more often, but you don't know anything. Like if you can track like on their schedule, like okay, they're home every day, they go to work, but there's no in betweens. Like I wouldn't worry so much about it, you know. But I will definitely say if they're starting to put down their phone screen more often, being like, you know, you really got to be careful what they're pulling up before they show you something. That's a little weird, you know. Still, not again. I'm not saying that's a total like they're guilty of something, but yeah, I mean, if they're literally hanging out with a girl at their work and they start getting angry at you and telling you limits and terms that you got to follow, that's kind of like a yeah, that's a red flag. Leave them. So yeah, not the asshole. Pretty easy. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. If it's a okay, maybe I'll do more than that. This is a really short one. Am I the asshole for siding with my brother-in-law and letting him stay at mine after how he behaved with my father? My father was/is not a nice man to his family. The only reason I stay in his life is because of my mother. My sister has been dating this guy for over around 2 years. A really nice, quiet guy. He's great with her son, etc. Anyway, there was a family gathering, and my father had a bit of an issue with my sister's son. Tugged his arm and said something. My brother in law went over and brought the boy back over with him. I noticed he was checking his arm. He was asking questions, I'd say, and made him laugh. Real nice, really nice. When the extended family had gone, my brother in law went over to my father and got in his face. He didn't touch him, but even I could feel the tension. He said something along the lines of, if you do that again to the little lad, you'll, etc. My father was an utter coward. It was nice to see. My sister told her boyfriend to leave their house that evening. I said he could stay in my spare room. My sister is unhappy for me letting him stay. I told her she is ungrateful. I said he did the right thing and she should be thanking him. Am I the asshole for siding with him, especially for letting him stay? Edit, I know he's not actually my brother-in-law, but you get the point. I'll be honest. I didn't fucking understand any of that. My apologies. It's either my bad reading or your bad writing. I don't know. It's. But one thing I do want to note is with how this is written out, and this feels like a real story. Whatever they said. I'm so sorry. I don't want to reread it, man. But no, it seems real. I mean, it's short to the point. The way that they kind of like don't really know how to explain every detail is normal. That's when you're recanting a story about something, especially if you were angry, you're not going to know and remember every detail on the fly. Like that's why when people are doing like long stories where they're super detailed about everything that happened, that's usually fake because you don't remember these details very vividly if you were that hyped up and angry. So this feels real. Let me read some comments. Not the asshole. Unfortunately, it looks like he'll never become your brother-in-law since your sister has no appreciation for him and will always take your father's side over him. Unless she's willing to treat him right, he's better off moving on than being with her. Okay. I'm so sorry, dude. I could not internalize that. My bad. It's one of those problems where like I'll read a page and I will not be reading it. Like I'll looking at the letters, but there's nothing going in here at all. Okay. I'll make up for it. I'll make up for it. Let's do one more that's like this is okay, this is short. Am I the asshole for kicking my brother out after he sold something of mine without asking? So me, female 25, and my brother, male 28, have always been okay. But right now we're not speaking, and my family is saying I overreacted. Basically, he was staying with me for a while because he was in between jobs and needed a place to crash. I wasn't even asking him to pay rent, just to be respectful and not treat my place like a hotel. Spoiler, he did not. He would leave dishes everywhere, come home late drunk, bring random people over without asking, and just act like it was his place instead of mine. I had multiple talks with him about it, but nothing changed. Then last week, I noticed my AirPods Max were missing. I always keep them on my desk, so I asked him if I saw them, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I sold them. I need some quick cash. I was gonna tell you." Like, bro, that was my stuff. And they were almost new. Sorry. He didn't even act like it was a big deal. I told him straight up he had 24 hours to pack his shit and leave. And I wasn't joking. He left, but now my parents are saying I was being too harsh and should have given him more time to figure things out. Like, am I crazy? He stole from me and sold my stuff. Am I the asshole for kicking him out immediately? No. That's insane. Why would he do that? Like the fact that he didn't ask first, but what? No. You can't say, "Oh, I just needed cash." I was gonna tell you. Yeah, no, it's clear, obvious. Why is this person's name Red Lips Good Sex? I'm not clicking on that. Yeah, no, I mean it's pretty easy. Yeah, especially AirPods. Like I don't have AirPods. I got Raycon. Wish I was sponsored, but yeah, no, I mean, I do like that note though. I'm sorry. Almost new, and were almost new. What does that mean? That's not how you say that. they were just like new, or you know, like they're not almost new. Well, you got the beta version of the AirPods. They're not even out yet. No, I'm sorry, I'm harping on them too much. But that isn't saying that he admitted to stealing them and selling them. He could have played it off like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I didn't touch him. Why didn't he lie? It'd be so easy to say that you must have dropped them somewhere instead of, oh yeah, I sold them. Yeah, I got like good $25 off them. $800 fucking earbuds. Yeah, that's pretty easy. Well, anyways, that was pretty fun. I really hope that was not horrible to listen to. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, so if you've come this far in the video, oh, I gotta put these back on. I do apologize. Life has been pretty crazy. I've been finding a good way to say it, but I feel like now is a good time to say it. At the end of the video, you know, I'm having a baby soon. I haven't said anything about it, but yeah, in like a month, I'm gonna be having a child. So we'll see how that goes. No, this feels very sincere with the glasses on. I'm not joking. You know, it's gonna be wild. You know, I really hope that things go well in life. One of the things I really wanted to do was, you know, try to pursue some sort of content creating, and that's, you know, something you gotta just do. I just gotta start recording, putting out stuff, and unfortunately, I've been kicking my feet a lot. It's been hard to get things, you know, recorded, edited. With all the time I'm just hanging out with friends. I'm being lazy. That's pretty much it. It's my own doing. So I just wanted to try something new that I think would be a lot more fun, because this is something I want to do, you know, and I think it'd be very, you know, easy but not cheap. You know, like you're getting something out of this. You get to listen to stories. I get to read them. I get better at reading. That's going to be huge for reading bedtime stories. But yeah, if I do continue the series, I will not be doing this a lot. I will just try to keep it to Reddit stories, because I want this to be a quick and easy way to just, you know, start the video, end the video with minimal in-betweens. You know, you don't want to hear about my life. If you do, you can check out my other videos. It's easy. But no, this is about Reddit. This is Reddit, the best place on earth. So yeah, no, thank you. I'm gonna edit this one. I think I'm gonna try and jump around, check, but I may, or actually no, maybe I won't edit this one. Maybe I will just upload this raw. And I'll see, because there's not really a lot of gaps, a lot of spaces in between stuff. I don't want to go through and have to find every single mistake I make and make it fluid. I feel like it's probably just easier to just, you know, maybe it'll be too jumpy if I edit it. So like if I make a mistake while reading, and then it just immediately cuts to where it was supposed to be, that's gonna be weird. So I think I'll upload this the way it is, and then we'll see how it goes. You know. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Oh my God.